Hey you guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and in today's video, we're gonna have a little girl chat today, okay? That's just what it is. I'm going to tell you guys my tips and tricks on how to be a better consumer, and I'm going to be talking about makeup today, but this does not only relate to makeup products. You can relate this to literally anything that you purchase, but I just feel like brands nowadays rely so heavily on influencers and social media, and these are just tips and tricks that I personally use and do differently. So I'm going to try to help you guys learn from my mistakes from when I started with makeup. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. If you guys like these types of videos, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel before you guys leave. And let's jump right in and let's do this! Okay, so the first thing that I would say is do your own research and not rely on other people to do your research for you. Now this is something that I don't personally do because I'm just kind of like, if it works, like I want to physically touch it, I want to use it. If it works, that is good enough for me. But if you're a person that's about ingredients or anything like that, you should be looking at every single piece of any product before you purchase it. That's just literally common sense. I know a lot of people won't think that, but like I said in the beginning, like people rely so much on influencers now these days that I feel like it is crucial to remind yourself that you should be doing your own research. And I mainly say that is because I see so much now that when people do like these first impressions videos or whatever the case may be, when people actually go to try the product and they aren't happy with it, they come for those people because they're the ones that said it might be good or whatever the case may be. But we're gonna get into that more throughout this video. But the biggest thing is going to be do your own research. The next thing is going to be try things on your own. And again, this is all going to be literally common sense, but like I said, people rely so heavily on these influencers and everything, and it's like, you don't realize how it's going to work on you until you actually try it on yourself. Like you could see it work like shit on somebody else and then you try it and you'll love it. Perfect example is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. That had so much controversy over it. I swear to God, that's what made it sell more, was because of the controversy. But there were so many people that loved it, so many people that hated it. Everything comes down to personal preference. So again, this is going to be literally common sense bullshit, but I'm here to remind you, try things on your own, because when I first started, I would literally buy anything that Jaclyn Hill said was amazing. If she said it was amazing, it is literally in my collection right now. That will bring us into the next few things that we'll talk about, and it's going to be, first one is going to be knowing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So this one applies a lot to makeup because everybody knows certain things work for them and certain things don't. And if you're new to makeup, you're going to figure that out as you progress with makeup. And the one that stands out to me the most with makeup is like when people talk about luminous foundations. Like that is one thing I'm always like, nope, or high SPFs, nope, no thank you. Like those are things that instantly like stick out to me, like those don't work for you. I instantly stay away from them just because of those things. And then the next thing is going to be, do not be misled by the wrong influencers. I mean, when I start a video and if I'm doing a product review, I always make sure I say what type of skin I have and my skin tone. So I always say I have light to medium skin tone with neutral undertones, and I have combination skin where I have an oily T-zone and a dry perimeter of my face. Now, when I first started with makeup, I had no fucking clue what that meant. And I will be doing videos on each step with makeup to kind of dig into it, just so if you are a beginner, you have a place to go. Not that there's not videos like this already, but I feel like there's no current ones anymore. But I feel like that's really important because like I said, I used to buy everything that Jaclyn Hill would recommend. If she said it was amazing, I bought it. She has totally different skin tone complexion than I do. So that's where I feel like if you're new to makeup, you should be aware of that. You should follow those people that relate to you. Find somebody that's relatable. Like, I'm not saying don't watch people that are entertaining or stuff like that, or if you just genuinely like somebody's channel, I would still watch it and take their reviews into consideration, but still be mindful of their skin is different than yours. And even if you do have light to medium skin with neutral undertones and combination skin, it could still act differently on your skin than it does mine. So that's just one thing. It's just be mindful of those things. And then the last thing I put on here is being easily influenced and listening to what influencers say and actually believing every single word of what they say. Now, I only put this in here because I feel like PR is such a huge thing now and brand trips are such a huge thing now. I think those things are amazing, but I do feel like it is getting a little bit wishy-washy when I see those things. I feel like I need to do a video on things that I wish brands would do differently. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But I feel like this is one thing that's really contributing to the issue. But I only wanted to mention that because I do feel like you do need to form your own opinion. They just kind of all like intertwine, and it's just things to think about. Take everything with what influencers or even reviews say with a grain of salt. And it all comes down to, if you're interested in an item, if you're doing the research on it, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, you're interested enough to buy it. I would suggest buy it, and then if you don't like it, return it. Because luckily there's so many companies out there that do accept returns. And I'm one of those people, I don't have a problem with returning a product that I don't like. I know a lot of people say they feel bad because they destroy it or whatever the case may be. Girl, you work hard for that money. That's the way I look at it. Like, I bust my ass for my money, and if I'm going to buy a product, I want it to be good, and if it's not good, I have no problem taking it back because not everything is going to work for everybody. So those are things that I do differently. Like I said, I used to listen to everything that Jaclyn Hill said, Jeffree Star, all those big influencers. I used to listen to every single word that they said, and I would just go and buy it. Like, I've bought so much stuff and wasted so much money. And don't get me wrong, I have found some amazing products, but I'm just a lot more mindful of it now. Like, I ask myself, like, do I really need another eyeshadow palette? Like, granted, I do YouTube now, so I want to purchase more because I do want to review more products. But if you're just a general consumer, you do not need 56 eyeshadow palettes. You do not need 75 highlighters. It's just not realistic. Like, I just feel like it's just gotten so out of control. And I think it is great that the beauty community is absolutely exploding. But I think it's just getting to the point now, I hate the direction that the social influence has gone. Like, it's just, I feel like I'm walking into a Sephora, Ulta, or MAC store, and I cannot stand it. I know a lot of people probably feel the same way that I do, and maybe I'm just being bitchy and ranty and whatever, but I feel like this would genuinely be helpful if I were starting over. I wish that I came across a channel like this as how to be a better consumer, because it's just being mindful of all those things, because we're constantly told, you need this, I'm obsessed with it, I think it is awesome, I think it's amazing. Like, it's just all those things that go into your head. You're like, ooh, I need to buy it, I need to buy it. And I am totally guilty of it. I still buy things because I'm like, ooh, I need it. Do I need another nude lipstick? No. But each one has a different undertone. Like, I'm that person too, but I try to be so much more mindful of it now, especially when it comes to social influence. I just think, take what everybody says with a grain of salt. Don't come for people, and just overall be your own influencer. I guess I just really wanted to do this video to help you guys out. If you are a beginner with makeup, or if you're just getting into this and are really overwhelmed, these are just the little steps that I take. I constantly am talking to myself and not just listening to what other people say. It's just like, be your own influencer. Don't let what people say totally influence you to buy certain things. Don't let those, it's amazing, it's this, it's that. Like, don't let that influence you. If you're genuinely doing the research on it, that's what instantly tells me. Like the Natasha Denona palette, I was doing research on that. I was actually looking it up. I was looking at pictures all the time. Like, I was thinking about it constantly, and I saw negative reviews on it, but I still bought it because I thought it was beautiful. I was inspired by it. So that's another thing. If you're inspired by a product, let that be your influence. Let that be something that tells you, maybe I do want to buy it. So those are my little tips and tricks that I do differently now, instead of just listening to what people say. So I hope you found it somewhat useful. People are going to be like, this is fucking stupid. But whatever, I felt like it needed to be said, and it has been on my mind for some time now. So if you guys like these types of videos, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel before you guys leave. And I hope to see you guys in my next one. Peace!